we are still on our journey on sacrifices and altars, and my assignment is to wake as many people as I can, as many people as would hear the things that the powers that be has ordained in my mouth to speak about. And we're going to tackle Abraham. We're going to tackle Abraham today, and also take it from there. But you need to understand, every life that raises an altar is never the same again. Anyone that comes to this place of understanding and knowing and actually goes ahead to raise an altar has their life absolutely changed for the better. You have to raise your altar today. If you think I'm speaking things that don't make sense, wait till you watch this.
Our enemies are many, and they stand ready to pounce upon and exploit our every weakness. They play upon our vanities and flatter us in every kind of way. They tell us that this particular person or that particular country has greater or more favorable potentialities than the other. They do not tell us that we should unite, that we are all as good as we are able to make ourselves once we are free.
Don't fucking move on. Shoot your fucking ass, bitch. Tase his ass.
Why are you so angry?
I'm angry because it's been going on forever. Enough is enough.
We're waiting for Beck. I will, sir. No worries. I will.
Fuck!
He just shot his arm off. We got pulled over on Larpener.
I told him not to reach for it. I told him to get his hand out.
You told him to get his ID, sir, and his driver's license. Oh my God, please don't tell me he's dead. Please don't tell me my boyfriend just went like that.
Keep your hands where they are, please.
Yes, I will, sir. I'll keep my hands where they are. Please don't tell me this, Lord. Please, Jesus, don't tell me that he's gone. Please don't tell me that he's gone. Please, officer, don't tell me that you just did this to him. You shot 4 bullets into him, sir. He was just getting his license and registration, sir.
Mid-20th century is Africa's. This decade is the decade of African independence. Forward then to independence. To independence now. Tomorrow, the United States of Africa.
Aquaba. I'm excited. My name is Kojo Bento, your humble servant, and I'm truly excited. I know some people don't want to hear the humble servant. They feel it's cliche, but I'm humbled every time I get opportunity to talk to you, and I don't take it for granted at all. I also want to say thank you to the Creator for life, for this beautiful life that we have, to the powers that be that are always with us, to our mother, the earth. Our mother, the earth, that is, what a mother. What a mother, what a mother. To the powers of the heavens, to the powers of the earth, to the power of the water dimension, to the power of the fire realm, to ether. And also we say thank you to Nana Esi, Nana Ajo, Nana Abene, Nana Oku, Nana Yao, Nana Efi, Nana Amen. We also say thank you to Nao Fejahima and Nana Frama. I am absolutely blown away. I'm totally blown away by the presence of these powers that be. Listen, when you raise an altar, you better get ready, because your life would never be the same. I want to continue from the scriptures. Yes, I said the scriptures. And then somebody will ask me, why do you still read the scriptures? You don't believe in Christianity. First and foremost, scriptures are not for the Christians. The scripture is not for Christians. I've said it time and time. The New Testament is for Christians. The scripture is not for Christians. Number two, it's not only Christians that use the Bible. A lot of people use the Bible for so many various and diverse means. And me on this place, or me in this place, I'm only using that Bible, the scriptures, to open your understanding about things that you've just read over, but never really took pain to understand what you're reading. You are reading from the lens of your pastors, your ministers, reverend bishops, what have you, your prophet, but you never took time to read them for what they are. And tonight, I'm going to continue my teaching on altars and sacrifices. Tonight, I take it from Genesis 12. Genesis 12. Now, the Lord has said unto Abraham, get out of thy country. We all know this verse. From thy kindred and from thy father's house, and unto a land that I will show thee. I will show thee. This land wasn't shown, but it said, unto a land that I will show thee. I will make of thee a great nation, and thou shalt be a blessing. I will bless them that bless thee, and curse them that cursed thee. In thee shall all the families of the earth be blessed. So Abraham departed as the Lord has spoken, and Lot went with him. And Abraham was 75 years old and departed from him. Let's go down to verses 7. And the Lord appeared unto Abraham. So now Abraham was told the promise, and Abraham moved ahead with the promise. And the Lord appeared unto Abraham and said, unto thy seed I will give this land. And there builded he an altar unto the Lord, who appeared unto him. Now, pay attention. And now the Lord said unto Abraham, which Lord? Remember, these texts are written in such a way that if you don't pay attention to what you're reading, you will think it's talking about one Lord. So now, the Lord said to Abraham, get out of the Lord. So there's a particular Lord that said to Abraham. This Lord is, of course, capital L-O-R-D, which here is trying to signify, but it's not. Don't put words into things you have no idea of. A lot of people will say here it's talking about Yahweh, but it's not. Or it can be, but it's not specified. So which Lord? Okay. Then it comes in the verse 7. And the Lord appeared unto Abraham and said, unto thy seed I will give to you. Right? And there builded he an altar unto the Lord, who appeared unto. So the particular Lord that appeared unto Abraham was the Lord that Abraham raised an altar for. For those of you who want to argue and say that, no, this is just talking about the I am God. Wait a minute. Nobody has seen I am, according to the same scriptures. Even Moses saw the back of him, right? According to scriptures. So if nobody has seen the I am, and here we are reading that the Lord appeared unto Abraham. Which Lord appeared unto Abraham? Which Lord? Which of the Lords appeared unto Abraham? That's a question for you. And this particular Lord, Abraham did what? Raise an altar, builded an altar, meaning it was a norm, it was a practice. Where did Abraham know this from? Obviously, the Lord didn't tell Abraham to build an altar. So Abraham is coming from a land of his people. So wherever Abraham is coming from, this practice was done. Then anytime anybody came into encounter with the power that be, an altar would be raised. That is why when the Lord appeared unto Abraham, Abraham, of course, coming from the background that he's coming from, knowing very well that we raise altars every time we encounter lords, Abraham raised an altar. If you don't know what is done on an altar, sacrifices are done on altars. So Abraham raised an altar. This Lord was not upset with Abraham saying, why have you raised me an altar? He liked it. This particular Lord really liked it. So he says so. And he removed from thence unto a mountain to Bethel and pitched his tent there, right? And there he built an altar unto the Lord and called upon the name of the Lord. So first and foremost, he's raised the first altar, okay, unto the Lord that appeared, moved, pitched his tent by the cliff or by the mountain, raised another altar, and on this altar calls on the name of the Lord. So if it's the same Lord that appeared, why didn't he call on the name here in the verse 7? If it's the same Lord. So which Lord appeared in the verse 7 and which Lord is he calling on now? You see, the way scripture is written, you got to be careful. Let me show you something. So this name is a name that they've known. The Lord in verse 7 appeared unto him. Appeared unto him. But this Lord in verses 8 is the Lord he's raised an altar. This is the Lord that he knows. This is the God that he knows. Another Lord appeared unto him, right? And he raised an altar. You got to understand how the scriptures was written. Let me show you. Let's go back. Let's back it up. Let's back it up all the way to Genesis 4. From 25, it says, and Adam knew his wife again, and she bore a son, and called his name Seth. For God said, she had appointed me another seed instead of Abel, whom Cain slew. And to Seth, to him also there was born a son, and he called his name Enosh. Then began men to call upon the name of the Lord. Genesis 4 from 25 to 26. Then men began to call upon the name of the Lord. So up until this time, Abraham knew the name of the Lord. But another Lord appeared in verses 7, chapter 12, and he built an altar for that Lord. But he came and built another altar. 2 altars. 2 different personalities. Read it for yourself. I'm not making it up. Okay? Let's move on. Verses 14, it says, and it came to pass that when Abraham was come into Egypt, the Egyptians beheld the woman that she was with very fair. We all know the story. And the prince of Egypt saw her and commanded her before Pharaoh. And the woman was taken into Pharaoh's house. And he entreated Abraham well, for he asked for her sake, And he had sheep and oxen and asses and manservant and maidservant and she-asses and camels. And Lord plagued Pharaoh and his house with a great plague because of Sarai, Abraham's wife. And Pharaoh called and said, what is this that thou hast done unto me? Why did thou not tell me she was thy wife? Now wait a minute. Who told Pharaoh that she was the wife of Abraham? Question number one. Question number two. How did the Pharaoh know that the plague that had come on them was as a result of Abraham? Oh, they inquired. Because they inquire, they do divination. They are spiritual people, according to the same text. So Pharaoh them inquired, and the Lord said to the gods of the pharaohs that the reason why the plague has the reason why the plague has come on you is because you are sleeping with somebody's wife. Oh, so the gods communicated. That is how Pharaoh knew that he was sleeping with somebody's wife. Oh, I see. So the gods talk amongst themselves, because obviously the God that Abraham built an altar for is not the same God. It's not the same God that the Pharaoh spoke to. So the gods communicate. So the gods are not enemies. The gods communicate. Anyways, let's move on. Why said thou, she is my sister? So I might have taken her to be my wife. Now therefore, behold, thy wife, take her and go away. And Pharaoh commanded his men concerning him. They sent him away and his wife and all that he had. And all that he had. Don't forget, when Pharaoh built the when Moses built the when Abraham built the altar in verses 8 chapter 12, you realize that when he built an altar called upon the name of the Lord, he started his journey. So before Abraham made the decision to move, he had already built an altar, made the sacrifices, and prayed and called the name of the Lord that he built the altar to. Then he had the green light that you can go. This is the problem of our generation. Majority of us take decisions anyhow. We don't consult the powers that be. We don't consult the altars. We don't build. We don't consult it. We just go. Before Abraham went, Abraham built an altar to the Lord that he worshipped or communicated to or served. And the Lord gave him wisdom and directive and was with him. And when Pharaoh almost stood up, the same Lord he built an altar, the same God he built an altar for, appeared unto the gods of Pharaoh and had a conversation. Ooh. Before you leave the house, before you make that choice, speak on your altar. So important. Before you make that decision, speak on your altar. Pray on your altar. Before you make that choice, you got to spend time at your altar and pray. Don't just get up and take decisions. Whether you like it or not, there are powers in the divine realm. The divine beings exist. They know things you have no idea of. So if you want to partner them so that they can map you out or navigate, be your GPS, then you always have to talk on your altar, speak on your altar before you make a move. When Abraham did that, he went to Egypt and was blessed way far more than he could ever imagine. Let's watch what happened next. We continue from chapter 13. And Abraham went up out of Egypt, he and his wife and all that he had, and Lot with him into south. And Abraham was very rich in cattle, in silver, in gold. Why? Because he raised an altar and spoke certain things and prayed and invoked and inquired before he made the move. And just one move at your altar can bring you everything you would ever want to see in this manifestation. And he went out his journey from the south even to Bethel, unto the place where his tent had been at the beginning between Bethel, unto the place of the altar which he had made there at first. And there Abraham called on the Lord. So he built an altar, spoke some things, made decisions, went out became successful according to the story. Listen, I'm helping you, Christian. I'm helping you, religious person. If you're stuck in religiosity and you think that when we raise altars and when we speak into the dimension, we're making a mistake. You are the one I'm talking to. Abraham built an altar, left, went about his business, came back rich. Now, after he had the blessing, he didn't sit on the blessing. He brought everything back to the altar he raised. This is where a lot of you go wrong. When you go to certain altars and raise certain prayers and certain things are made for you, when you begin to see the blessings unfold in your life, come back to the altar. You got to come back and show that this is what has happened. After I raised and prayed and offered my sacrifices on the altar, the problem, most people don't come back. Most people take things for granted. They don't come back. After they are healed, they don't come back. After they are blessed, they don't come back. After they are elevated, they don't come back. After they are revived, they don't come back. After they are refilled, they don't come back. This is where the problem is. A lot of people will do the sacrifice. Most people will not do because they think it's demonic. That's how naive they are. That is why I'm here helping them. But some people would also do the sacrifice, and that's it. They never come back. The wise one is the one that always comes back to the altar. That's why in this house, every week we have sacrifices being offered. In as much as we have our main sacrifice, every week we lift up a sacrifice. Because you have to learn to come back to say thank you for the week. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Abraham did what? Went back. He had all the money. He didn't sit all the money, but he went back to his altar. You got to learn to go back to your altar, and your life will absolutely not be the same again. Before you make that decision, that major decision, make sure you put something on the altar. Make sure you offer up a sacrifice to the powers that be. As you go along, make sure you remember the altar. Keep your sacrifices going. And when the blessings begin to overflow, remember the altar. Problem is, most people don't come back to the altar. The God of Abraham did not reject altars, believed in altars. Abraham already knew about altars from his background. Abraham ne nananom no azana wo yaw dum yaw okere won fim mbre no the mazina so na ya ma Abraham ye bi man. You know something? The same thing that he called Abraham out of. So you should know that the God that called Abraham wanted to make a spectacle out of Abraham. Wanted to make Abraham great. But Abraham did not leave his traditions, his customs. Did not leave how to build an altar every time you're about to make a major decision. He brought it and offered the altar to the Lord that appeared unto him. Do you have an altar? If you don't, it's time you raise an altar. Join the Zoom community. We will teach you exactly how to raise an altar. Please, if you haven't subscribed to our videos, subscribe now, subscribe now, subscribe now. This family is growing every day. Subscribe now. Thank you to all the new subscribers. Listen, you guys are the reason why I have the strength to come every week, every day, every other day. No, every other day. I think every day to tell you the truth. This is the melanated truth. Please tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. There's a family that is woke, and we are doing what we should have been doing all this while. Have a great evening. I love you guys. Mwah. Hear the description. Share the video. Check in the description below. You will see all information you need about this family. Stay blessed.